Imagine the sacrifice that you make for your children. The mother, she sleeps in a wet place for the sake of her child that he sleeps in, or she sleeps in a dry place. I've seen it with my eyes, one eye. You see it every single day. But why is it when it's your turn to return the favor, why is it that it's not like that? As Muslims, what is wrong with us? One person, one father can raise 10 children. Allahu Akbar. 10 children cannot raise one father. 10 children can, it's something to think about, guys. A Muslim person, he says, I walk into this old age home. I walk into this old, listen to this guys, he says, I walk into this old age home. I walked inside, and he says, I see a person sitting on a chair, very old, Buddha. And all he's looking down. He's looking down. So he says, I approached him and I said to him, Uncle, what's wrong? Kya hua? I want you to listen to this story. Look at me when I'm talking to you. He says, what's wrong? He says, what's wrong? He says, son, he says, I haven't ate for 3 days. So this person says to him, but how can you say that? Because this place, it accommodates for everything. Your sleep, your eat, your drink, it accommodates for everything. So how can you say that you don't eat, you're not eating, or you haven't got food? So he says that the food that they offer me, I cannot digest because of my age. The food that I eat, I cannot digest because of my age. So I can't eat that. So he says, for 3 days, I'm just hungry. So this person says to him that, what can I do for you? He says, go just get me a loaf of bread. And the inside of the loaf of bread, he says, I'll eat that. This person goes to the shop, and he buys a loaf of bread, and he buys extras as well. And he comes back, and he gives it to him, and this person eats it. And then he says, Jazakallah, and remember this person is blind. This person that is sitting in the old age home is blind. So he says, Jazakallah, and he says, you've taken a burden off me. So he goes, no, my stomach is full. So this person asks him, he says, but I want to ask you a question if you don't mind. He says that, do you not have any children? Where are your children? Do you not have any children? Why are you in an old people's home as a Muslim? So he says, I have 10 children. I have 10 children. And he says, since the day that I have been admitted here, he says, not one of them has come to see me. Not one of them has come to see me. So he says to him, well, how have you ended up in here? He says, years ago, my wife passed away. I was blind. My children used to live with me. Then they got married, they moved out. Every single one moved out. He says, I spent nights not knowing where I was. I spent days not knowing where I was. I spent nights hungry. I spent days thirsty. My children, they moved out with their wives. They lived their lives. No one came back for me. No one came back for me. Then he says, one day there was a knock on my door. And it was my son. One of my sons. And he says he was the most merciful. He says he came inside. He ran into my room and he says, Dad, he says, I'm going to sort all your problems out now. He goes, you want a nice soft bed? I'm going to make you that soft bed. You want to be comforted at night time? He goes, I'm going to comfort you at night time. He goes, you want good meals? He goes, I'm going to give you good meals. He goes, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure I take care of you. So he says, Wallah, he says, I swear in the name of Allah, that day I was the most happiest person on earth, thinking that my son has come back to save me. Thinking my son has come back to save me. He was blind, remember. He says he sat me in the car, we drove for a while, and I thought we were going to go into some grocery shop. He said we went into this place, I didn't know what it was. We went inside, he said, Dad, you sit over here. He said, I sat next to him. He went inside, he brought a piece of paper, and he asked me that, Dad, just sign it. So he says, what is this? He says, don't worry, just sign it. So he goes, I couldn't read anyway, and he goes, because after so long, someone had promised me a nice bed, a nice meal, a nice little bit of comfort. He goes, I signed it. He goes, I never seen him again. I never seen my own son again. He goes, they picked me up from there, they put me in a room. They put me in a room, and he says, I was laid there to rot. under to rot. He goes, none of my children came back to see me. None of my children came back to see me. So he goes, has no one come back to see you till today? He goes, not even a phone call. Not even a phone call to ask how I am. So then he says that, anyway, time went on. And then he goes, I started thinking inside my heart that I know they're not going to come back. So then this person that went to visit this person just randomly, he says, forget them, don't worry. Do dua for them that Allah forgives them. And you know what this person says? He looks up with despair in his eyes and he says, on the day of judgment, when I stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am going to grip every single one of my sons from here and I'm going to ask for justice from Allah. He says, I'm going to ask for justice from Allah. That where were they when I needed help? I helped them when they needed help. But where were they when I needed help? He says on the day of judgment, I'm not going to let them go. So this person says, uncle, he says, don't worry, I'm your son from today. He says, son, the touch of your hand and the touch of my real son, the difference between them is Zameen Asman Ka Falak. He says, your touch is different. My son's hand's touch is different. The tenderness, the softness, and the connection, because he carried him for so many years. He carried him for so many years. I'll just tell you one other thing. So many times after Fajr Salah, when I go home, I've got a young daughter. She's about 3 now, yeah? And you know when they're 3, they have their hands and their feet are very, very soft, aren't they? So I always pick her up and I put her inside my bed. I always pick her up and put her inside my bed. And I put her feet on my feet. I cuddle myself up with her, I put her feet on my feet, and trust me, the sleep that I get is next level. You won't understand it unless you're a father. The connection that you have with your children. Okay? So he says, I'm going to ask on the day of judgment, I'm going to ask for my right on the day of judgment. So this person says, don't worry, I'm your son. I'm like your son. The softness, the love that I can give you, I will give you. He says, no son, you can't give me what my own children can give me. He says, I walked away from there. Dil barata, heavy-hearted. He said, I walked away from there and I thought to myself, dunya ke andar aise bhi log hain. He says, 3 mahine passed, 3 months passed. Mujhe uski rozana yaad aayi. I was remembering him every single day. Every single day I was remembering him. He said, in the last month, 3rd month, the month passed and he said, I made the intention that I'm going to go see him. He says, when I walked inside the old hostel, the old people's home, he says, I walked in, he says, I knew there was something wrong. Because I knew there was something wrong. He says, I went rushing to that room and he said the bed was empty. The bed was empty. So he says, I went to the reception, I found out that where has he gone? So they said that he's laying in the mortuary downstairs in a fridge for a month. A father, remember this, a father has been laying in the fridge for 10, you know, like a father of 10 sons is laying in the freezer, is laying in the fridge. They say, we ring their family every single day, every single one of them, we ring them, and we say to them, your father needs taking away and burying. And all the answer that we get every single time is, we don't have time. We don't have time. Guys, you know, the way you treat your parents, that's exactly the way you're gonna be treated. And remember one thing, yeah? You know the harshness that you use on your father or your mother, remember this, I'm only gonna say it once, the harshness that you use on your mother and on your father, you will get it back word to word. You'll get it back word to word. Years ago,